I'm going to cut right to the chase, no fluff, all right? These last 2 months have been life-changing for me personally, and I wanted to share that with you. As some of you know, I've shifted a lot of my attention and energy towards the new venture that is Area 52, this right here. It is my baby, it is my pride and joy, it is my creative outlet, but it also documents the personal journey that I am currently going through, which is a lot of fun that I get to mix, that with my work and sort of put that together. Anyways, I worked really hard on this new investigation we're doing, which is the study of consciousness and out-of-body experiences and that type of thing. And I won't give you all the details. If that's something you're interested in, I would greatly appreciate it if you checked it out. If not, it's all good if it's not your bag. But, I worked super, super hard on it. And part 2 is coming probably this weekend for those of you waiting on that. About this time last year, I had a burnout. The burnout of burnouts for me. It was one of the darkest times of my life in recent memory. It's, and I think it struck a chord with a lot of people. There was almost, 10,000 comments under that video. One of the things that was really weighing me down was the pressure of responsibility. Maintaining a team of half a dozen people here full time requires a lot of upkeep, and it's a lot of overhead to keep up, as I mentioned in that video. And that pressure starts to wear you down over time, especially because you shift from having something you're passionate about and something you want to be creative in to something that just kind of feeds the monster and keeps the wheel spinning. And that can only be sustained for so long before you end up burning out. And that's something I found out the hard way. However, I didn't really have a solution. Part of me is like, well, I need to take a step back and take a break from YouTube, which I kind of did, which only really made things worse for me financially. And, then after that, it just gets jumbled up in your head and you get down on yourself and you're like, man, I have to pick things back up. And you try to hit the ground running, feeling a little refreshed. And this cycle continues over and over and over and over. I've spoken to a lot of people over the last year. And so thank you for those of you who have listened to me and who I've had conversations with. And, one of these people told me, do what's right for you. Everyone else will be fine. And very simple words that I was like, you know what, this kind of makes sense. Because that's what I was worried about. I was worried about everyone else, especially around me, my team, making sure that everyone was taken care of all the time. But that sort of took a toll on me. And so I pretty much let go, 90% of my staff recently. Now, they were well taken care of. I made sure of that. Everybody parted ways on good terms. But kind of back to making videos by myself. Just like I did when I got started, except I got all this stuff. But I did realize something recently, which is that showcasing expensive items that nobody can afford isn't my passion. It's not something that gets me up in the morning, believe it or not. But it did keep the lights on for a very long time. But all you end up having is just a bunch of shit that you have zero emotional attachment to, collecting dust around you. And that's kind of where I'm at, and that's kind of why I've really drawn back from creating content, which is super strange because I went on this retreat about a month ago to the Monroe Institute. Again, Area 52 if you guys want to learn more about this, but it was a retreat about trying to leave the body, and we'd meditate for like 6-7 hours a day. And a month after I've left that program, I'm meditating every single day, and it's been the biggest game changer for me mentally. I'll spare you guys the details, but I'm a very different person than I was. I feel like I'm a very different person. And before I went into it, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. I'm going to be refreshed, recharged, hit the ground running, and make all this content. And when I got back, it was kind of the opposite of what I wanted. I realized that I don't care about this stuff, right? And it's very hard for me to put my heart into something that I really stopped caring about. I was in line at the grocery store. I had a couple items in my hands. And there was a few ladies behind me, this one lady in front of me, the cashier lady. And the lady in front of me was ringing up her groceries and trying to pay, but her card kept getting declined, and she was trying another card and ended up paying in cash. But this whole ordeal lasted like 4.5 minutes, which is kind of a long time to stand around and wait for someone to finish paying, right? It's like a lengthy amount of time, lengthy enough to where people started getting annoyed. The cashier, even the lady paying, especially the ladies behind me, I kind of heard them sort of go, and sort of roll their eyes behind me. And in that moment, I realized everyone's just trying to get to the next thing. The next thing, the next thing, the next thing. What's the next thing? We got to hurry up and get to the next thing. Go to the next thing. And I just realized in that moment as I'm holding these items going, this is the thing. This is it. This is the thing we're trying to get to right now. This is it. I'm doing the thing. What am I rushing? Where am I going? This is it. And I stopped and I had these items and there was like some stupid pop song playing on the radio, in the background. And in that moment, I could have stayed in that moment for hours. I was so happy in that moment to be there, present, enjoying the thing. And it kind of shifted my perspective instantly on a lot of things, which is strange because this is right before I went on this retreat. It's kind of like, I feel like I was being prepared for it in some way. Which begs the question, what's going on with this? I was so mad last year seemingly mad at like the algorithm and mad at like YouTube and mad at how society sort of crams you into a little box and like all of this. And there was all this pent up rage, which I internalized and it piled up with the responsibilities that I had and all this stuff just being in my head. And for the first time in 10 years, I feel like I'm free of all of that, which is an amazing feeling. It really is an incredible feeling. And I was reluctant to make this video because I thought it was some type of phase that I was going through. I'm like, maybe I'm mentally unstable and this is just me going up and down. And hey, that could be too. But it's been this way for a few months now. And I've never felt healthier. I've quit drinking a few months ago. Any substance except for caffeine, basically. And I feel great. Been working out, been meditating, been reading, and most of all, been getting creative with this stuff. And that's really sustained me. It's strange for me to make videos like this because I don't usually get personal. The videos that I make are normally about the stuff that I have. So it's strange for me to formulate a proper thought here without getting sidetracked when I see the camera. I was also made aware last year earlier this year that my father also got very ill. And that's been really tough on my family as well, and been going through that, and I'll spare you those details, but it has allowed me to reconnect with my dad, which has been sort of a silver lining to this whole thing. And I don't know. I just wanted to say that there is more. There is more. There is more. Life isn't about getting the next drop, or, you're not going to be complete once you finally have enough money to buy that thing. Jim Carrey, I think, said he wished everyone could be rich and famous so that they can see it isn't where it's at. And that isn't what this video is about. I don't want to make this video about, oh, boo-hoo, feel bad for me because I have all this stuff and all this money. Like, that's not what this video is about. This video is about happiness. This video is about finding happiness and being content and feeling inspired by every single little thing that's in your life and enjoying the lessons that the rough times bring you and enjoying the good times when they come around and living in the present moment, not being caught up with the past or the future or anything other than just being here. And I think that's really important for a lot of people to hear, especially maybe the younger audience. And these aren't lessons that you'll take from me because you'll have to make your own mistakes and do your own homework, so to speak, before you come to these realizations. But maybe this acts as a small seed that I can plant that might one day serve as a tiny reminder when you make those mistakes to be like, oh, that's what he was talking about. And maybe it'll prevent you from making further mistakes or further decisions that won't benefit you. Who knows? I don't know. All I know is that I've been walking around barefoot for 2 months. That's how different things have gotten. It's so stupid. Through these journeys that I've been on, I've been really trying to observe myself from a sort of removed perspective, almost like my body and my consciousness are two separate entities that are living as one. Okay? I know that sounds insane. It's fine. Bear with me. In doing that, it was like I met myself again. Part of that was familiar, and part of that was brand new. Almost like meeting a childhood friend you haven't seen in 30 years. And I was so excited. I was like, man, we have so much to catch up on. Look at how far we've come. And that's the kind of feeling that I've been having lately. It's this renewed, youthful, joyous feeling that I haven't had since I was a kid. And all of that stemmed from removing myself from the things that I thought that brought me happiness and getting myself closer to me, to sit with my emotions and sit with my thoughts rather than suppress them or push them away or deal with them later. I took them in and I said, let's think about this. Let's look at this. And, through meditation and through all of this, it's really been a game changer for me. And as someone who has struggled with a lot of mental health in the past, as uncomfortable as it is for me to talk about this, I just want to share that with you guys. Because if there's anyone out there, and I know a lot of you are you're going to have your own opinions about all this stuff, which is totally fine. But there's somebody out there that's going to watch this and think, maybe I resonate with that. Maybe that sort of rings true within me. And maybe one part of this video serves to help that person. And that's amazing. That'd be awesome. So thank you for sticking around this long. Thank you for listening to these rants. I have nothing further left to say. There's still going to be videos on this channel. I won't be churning them out at the rate that I have because I am now working alone, so bear with me. But yeah, a lot of my focus is going to be shifted towards Area 52 as it's something that just fuels me these days, and I think I have to follow that. I don't think I can ignore that any longer. So if you want to follow me there, I'll probably be posting more frequently. Thank you again for sticking around, for the support through all these years. Thank you for allowing me to create careers for the people that I love. Thank you for allowing me to have a voice and for allowing me to create these amazing connections with all the wonderful human beings that I've made over the few years. This platform is amazing. It's awesome, and it's all thanks to you guys, so I appreciate you to no end. And yeah, I'm going to get out of your ear now. Have an awesome day. Today is amazing. Go enjoy it, and we'll see you on the next video. Peace.